Hello there. Basically, there's a lot of music box videos out there about these particular types of music boxes you see in front of you. There's like a couple hundred on the internet that are out there, and basically some people might want to know a little bit more about the mechanical aspects of the music box as opposed to just watching them being played constantly. So I'll show you a little bit more about these and kind of show you how I make my music, and so on. Basically, I'll show you the 20-note box here. This is the C major 20-note music box. It is hand cranked, and through the rollers here you can see that the music would come out of it. There's also these little prongs here that make a little noise, and when you just hold it in your hand you can kind of hear it. But what you really see is underneath is where the magic happens. This is where all the instrumentation is. This is the fretboard, kind of what you would say, or the keys. And there's all the notes where they would be. There's 20 of them for this one. And what you would do is you would stick the paper in the slot here, and you'd kind of push up on the back of this to make it move, and the paper goes through, and as you crank it like so, it moves the rollers. Probably can't see it, the roller's kind of hard to see move. Just like this one's the same construction, except this one's bolted on there. It's the same concept. You crank it and it moves. Some of you probably haven't seen my strips yet, but this is what my strips usually look like. They are just this is for the 30-note box, the chromatic new one that I have. So you can see there's like all kinds of different bars and lines, and they indicate where the notes are that get played on the music box when you put it through. Also, I have a little 15-note, first one I got on the internet, really cheap thing. Got its extra strips. It's not a very dramatic music box as far as I'm concerned, but it's better than not having one at all, I would say. So yeah, it's not that bad. This music box is about 20 bucks, give or take, 15, 20. The 20-note music box usually runs about 40, 50 bucks. Just depends where you find it. And the chromatic one I picked up for 90. I had to import it, so it wouldn't have been as much if I actually lived over there. But, you know, alas, it doesn't really matter. What you do is you mark notes on the paper, and I'll grab a note strip here. And this is just the scale for the chromatic box. And I'll actually put it through and show you what it sounds like when you just go through the full scale that's on this thing. So you can tell that's the scale I work with to make all the songs. That's how it would be punched out on there. That's how the scale would work. And you use a little puncher like this. You probably see that there's a smaller hole that you punch with, and that just punches out a little note. You can see it kind of pinches the paper in there, and it punches as so. So it's actually really nice to have one of those. There's not very many punches that are 2 millimeters in diameter and can punch at lengths of, like, I would say 4 inches or more. But the way I make the strips is I start off with the original strips and I make copies of them. As you can see here, this is for the 15-note box. You can see that there's some darker lines on there as opposed to the lighter, thinner lines. That's the bar staff on the strips. Also, I have 20-note and 30-note sheets as well. They, you know, range in size and such. They're different. They're all different. You can probably barely see on this one, but there's actually kind of like highlighted lines that represent the treble and bass clef on this scale. And you've seen the other one, and that's the same sheet and the same size, so they print off the same way. It would be the 30-note, and this is what they look like. That's all it is. You know, you have to actually use a little note device to run it through, and it makes it a lot easier. But yeah, that's how you make the Musicbox stuff. It's very easy. You just cut them out, mark the notes, and punch them out, and then crank it through. They usually come with instructions, so if you ever get interested in buying one, go ahead. You know, you can get a box like this at a junk store. I got this for $5. Can hold my extra strips for music in it. You know, all the different ones I have like tons of strips, you know, for the 15-note, the 20-note, and a couple for the 30-note. But yeah, thanks for watching the video, and I hope you guys learned a little bit more about these do-it-yourself music boxes. And if you ever decide to buy one, you know, you can either contact me or hell, Google it. Either way, Gage O Ninja signing off with a how-to video for once. Peace.